What I'm doing here is one of my favorite upper back thickness exercises. It borderlines on a compound movement and an isolation. I think there are other isolations you could do for rear delts, but in all honesty, it's really hard to isolate certain muscles because they're so good at working in group. So I've never really had very weak rear delts, but this was an exercise I fell in love with because, first of all, the positioning is fantastic. And I look for a lot of different things when I pick an exercise, like how hard is it to maintain form and technique? And can I do it if I've trained other muscles prior? So what I'm looking at here is knowing that I had a full back day earlier today, I don't need to put any extra load on my lower back. I don't want to overwork my lower back. You use it every single day, all the time. And I figured out for myself, if I combine certain exercises, very quickly in a week, in just a few days, I can see my body's response to whether that was a good or bad idea. So if I did a lot of heavy rowing that uses lower back to maintain spinal position, and then later that same day or the next day, I'm doing other exercises that mimic that same challenge, I could have a problem. I even experienced this, so it's not like I'm being cautious preemptively because I've never experienced it. A lot of my decisions come from experience. And I had a day where I did a lot of rowing, and either that same workout or later that day, I instead did a bent over reverse fly for my rear delts and upper back. And your back still has to maintain position right here. And you start slinging around 50, 70 pound dumbbells on these exercises. One bad rep, one bad decision can hurt you quite easily. So what I like about this, I have an incline bench. It's stable. I can't really create a lot of momentum here, so it allows me to have consistent technique and form. And then it doesn't tax other muscles by having something that's leaning, which is pretty great. So this is pretty easy. Grab a dumbbell. I prefer a higher rep range for smaller muscle groups. It gives you more reps with a lighter weight to focus on feeling that muscle. Bigger exercises like squats, lifting a heavy weight or a lighter weight doesn't exactly matter for the most part when you're talking about beginners, because you go down, you go up, you're going to use the muscles. But it's very easy to change how you move the weights whenever you're isolating to where you're not using the right kinds of muscles. So in this case, I want to feel a good contraction across the upper back. So to do that for myself, I try to create a T, right? I just try to bring my arms out. I don't straighten out my elbows. I find that makes my elbows uncomfortable. So I put a slight bend, and without throwing just the elbows and making it look like a row, I'm going to try to sweep my arms out. I'm just going to hang over the bench and just swing my arms back. I'm going to squeeze all the muscles in my upper back, bring it down under control. And without resting in the bottom position and just chilling, I go to the next rep and I create this momentum. I create this rhythm where the only reason why I have to stop is because the muscles cannot perform another good quality rep. And that's when I stop. So get into position. And let's see how many we can get. I'm going to drop the weight to a lighter one and extend the effort after that. All right, to save time, I'm just immediately going to change the weight. Let's drop 30%. Get back in position, and here we go. I did 12 there on the last one. I think 10 of those were good. The last 2 were just good effort. Good job. Made the weight move. I wouldn't call those good reps, but they weren't bad reps. So that's how I hit my upper back and rear delts. Just swinging my arms, and I just try to control the weight, keep a good rhythm, and you do it with the right rhythm, with a good weight that challenges you and makes you fail with good technique. You should feel the muscles you want to grow burn the most. And then 30 seconds after you quit, the burn goes away, and all of a sudden, a ton of blood's gonna rush into that muscle group. And that's how you know you hit it. Since I already did 3 hard back exercises that were kind of similar to this today, I don't need to do 3 exercises for rear delts. I already hit 3 technically earlier today. This is just one that targets it very directly. So now my rear delts got 1 dedicated set and 3 like auxiliary sets. My rear delts are not going to be lacking. The rowing I did, all of them require you to pull your shoulder blades back. So I got 2 of those 3. One was a pull down. I wouldn't say that's upper back trap type movement, but the 2 rows were. I could feel it. So I got 2 accessory trap exercises, trap isolation. That's a ton of volume. And now, since my arms have done 3 rows or pulls, this didn't use any biceps, I'm gonna go do 2 or 3 bicep exercises that I really enjoy and that target the biceps and create a good burn and a great pump without an extreme amount of weight that could hurt me. So that's it for rear delts and traps, and I'm on to the next exercise. After I clean up the machine and put my weights away,